Welcome back. Cheryl, it is so nice having your family here with us. Darius and Chandra, thank you. Thank you for sharing this heartfelt story. And I just have to ask you, how did your faith carry you through this difficult time, the most difficult time, I would say?
Well, we've always been taught faith from the age of 18. Faith was really shoved down both of our throats, and so this was a time for us to really stand on that. And the next day I just decided not to accept the death sentence. So I just prayed for all I could, for all that it was worth, for Darius to live, despite what they were saying. So it was a big role. I mean, there was constant Christian gospel music, constant videos going with prayer and scripture, and I had scripture all on the head of his bed, around his bed. It was like the war room. It was everything. Yes, it was really like the war room.
Oh, that's so powerful.
Yeah, because there were a lot of times I couldn't even speak or pray, so I would just put it on the wall.
Speak to even the medical records, Chandra. When we reviewed Darius, your medical records, the doctors put in there that the family was a family of faith and they believed that God was going to heal Darius, like in quotes. Talk about how crazy they thought we were, that we refused to let their report be the last report.
The medical records were a little sarcastic, actually, towards our family. They would say that his wife and sister are delusional.
Really? How delusional are you now?
Yeah, they would say things like they're in denial. You know, he's going to die. Whenever I would try to find something positive, they would just look at me and say, he's not going to make it.
And, how do you live day by day with your husband clinging on to life and someone looking at you every day and saying he's going to die? What carried you through that?
I just couldn't believe their report. That's basically, like, they were trained to report to us what the books were saying, what they learned in medical school, and I just had to go off of my faith.
Absolutely, and not receive what they were saying.
Yeah, like
it was like almost they were trying to.
They wanted me to agree.
And bow down to what I know what you are saying.
Yes.
And I hear what you're saying. I just don't receive what you're saying.
Exactly.
So there's a difference for those people that might be getting a medical sentence of stage 4 cancer, and they only have a week or a month to live. So
exactly.
You don't have to always take that in. To your spirit.
You can respect them in their position as doctors and nurses, but you can still not agree with them.
Absolutely.
And I just wouldn't say anything back. I would just walk off.
I rebuke a lot of things under my breath.
And so Darius, we've told you about you pulling out the trach, and they're just like going crazy, going, oh my God, he pulled out the trach. And then they tried to put it back into his throat, and you and I, we stood and said, well, if he survived this many hours, they said he had to do at least 24 hours. And so we said, well, then don't put it back in. Let's see if he'll make it. Yeah. And you went, Darius, from you personally pulling out the trach to they said that you'd always be on a feeding tube. But do you like to eat now, Darius? You have
a hard time swallowing?
Yes. And what would you say, Darius, to all the thousands of people who have prayed for you and for your life? Was there anything you want to say to them?
I just appreciate it a whole lot. It means a lot to me.
It does.
Yes.
Yes. And what would you say to your wife that's been here by your side the entire time?
I love her very much. And I thank her what she's done for me.
She's your right hand.
It's beautiful. It's
that is
beautiful.
So beautiful.
Chandra, how can people get involved and help you and Darius? Is there
what can we do to support?
Yeah, what can we do to support you?
Oh my gosh.
You know, because there's so many laws, and I know that your entire life has changed, and you're in 24-hour care now, taking care of him. You went from a man who took care of you, and I know this to be true.
Yeah.
Darius won. Darius, do you remember the cooking show that you won? Do you remember the title of it? Beat
the Chef.
Beat the Chef. I mean, see, they say he's not going to remember that. Darius won a cooking show, Beat the Chef, and he was on a journey to have his own restaurant. And he cooked for you all the time and took care of you and shopped for you. And now the roles have been switched, you know, Chandra. So, you know, on behalf of our family, I just want to say thank you. If you want to know what love looks like, every time I look at you and Darius, I see nothing but true, true love. And I just want to say thank you to you, Chandra, for loving my brother so much, and to all of our viewers, and to you, Darius, for showing so much love and for fighting. I mean, I want you to know that most people have to look all around the world for a hero, but I'm looking at one now and I see him every time I look into your eyes. You are my hero. You're my little brother. You're my hero.
Yes, you are.
And I'm just so proud of you and how far you've come. And I really believe that God isn't finished with you yet. One day you're going to walk onto the set instead of them bringing you on. Do you have that faith? Can you believe God with me for that?
Yes, I can.
Yes, to all of our viewers, for those of you who believe in the power of prayer, we're just going to ask you on behalf of Cheryl and Vicki, Darius and Chandra, if you would just continue to pray for our family and pray for Darius, and find Chandra on Facebook. She's always giving updates, or even on Instagram, Chandra Hawthorne, and just tell about ways and let her know that you're always in our prayers. And to our viewers, you know, we've got a great show coming up next. We have a phenomenal lady. Her name is Katrina Hunter, and we're going to talk about her new series, Conversations with Katrina, because you know what, it's so important to have someone in your corner that when you go through times like this, you have somebody that you can lean on. Katrina's going to come in and talk about our Conversations with Katrina. We'll be back in just a moment.